I would say the biggest differences between the whiteout and the blackout in general is the blackout, larger head size, more power. Whiteout, obviously, it's a little bit smaller head size, that means more precision. My name is Roman Prokes. I'm the owner of RPNY Tennis, located here in New York City. I've been in the business of tennis stringing, tennis customizing, running pro shops for over 40 years. In addition to running a shop in New York City, and a couple shops here, we've been obviously traveling the professional tour, personal stringer for Agassi for over 20 years. Stringing for the US Davis Cup team, US Fed Cup team, pretty much doing everything there is to be done in the business of tennis. In general, as far as who should use the blackout, we recommend it to people who are a little bit older, more intermediate level, because it's more forgiving. However, that being said, you have, for example, the Bryan brothers, the best doubles players who ever lived, both using the blackouts extended. So you can really play, you can take it all the way to #1 in the world, but in general terms, that's what we would recommend. Who would use the whiteout? Imagine Roger Federer. If he came here and said, I want to use a Solinco racket, I would immediately go to the whiteout. More classy, somebody who wants to come into the court, close off a little bit the court, I would recommend the whiteout. For the higher level junior player, for example, or a college player, for the most part, I would recommend the whiteout, because they already have, in general, the power that they need. So they need more control, more precision. That's where I would recommend the whiteout. If I would be working with female players, for example, a lot of them play with 100 head size. They need the racket to generate a little bit more power. So I would recommend the blackout. We sell a lot of Solinco rackets because they basically cover all the bases. You have the whiteout, you have the blackout, so you have a precision racket and then you have a power racket. But within those lineups, you have rackets starting at 265 grams. So I can offer those to younger kids who are just switching from the junior to adults. Then you have the 285, 300, and then you have the weight, the butt caps that have different weights. So you can actually, your 300 gram racket can become 305 or 310. So basically I can cover everybody in the game of tennis with either the whiteout or the blackout. And on top of it, you have the different lengths, the 27, 27 and a half, or even the 28, which not many other brands offer these days. It was one of those ideas that I came up with a long time ago, and when started working with Solinco, we had a lot of discussion about it. And what I've seen in general, people go and they buy the racket and then they say, well, it's a little bit too light. So instead of looking for a customizer in your area, we kind of came together with the solution to have the weight module that you can self-adjust the racket within really 5-10 seconds, and you can make it 5 grams or even 10 grams heavier. I am a big fan of the whiteout version 1 because in the club level, it's a fantastic forgiving racket that basically fits. You can really give it to anybody, and 9 out of 10 people will be really happy with it. So why did Solinco come out with the version 2? The only thing that I've heard sometimes on that high level, on that pro level, the version 1 was fantastic. It kind of always came to the almost the best racket on a court, but it lacked a little bit of stability and power. And the version 2 basically takes care of that. It still gives you all the same advantages as the version 1. However, it's a more stable racket with more power. The blackout, the version 1, is basically great racket with more power. And sometimes if there wasn't any complaint about it, but sometimes people say, I'm looking for something even more forgiving. I still want the blackout, I want the 100 head size, but I want something a little bit with more feel, a little bit softer. And that's what the version 2 should really take care of. Solinco catered to the needs of players on all levels by basically making rackets all different weights, starting at 265 grams, going all the way to the 305, plus you have the added weights, and you have the different length, and now you have a narrow beam and you have a wide beam frame, so you really can satisfy anybody, from 10 years old to an 80-year-old player.